Hello good people, it's Rob Lee. I would like to do a video for you as we go further. I would like to do a video to hopefully to reach out to some folks or to help some folks and maybe even give some help to the folks who have already come to believe. But I would like to do something for the folks who are depressed, hurting, lonely, confused, and just really lost right now. I would like to do something to help those folks. And that's important to me. This life is incredibly hard, but you are not alone. And it's important that these people know that you are never alone. No matter how much hell you're going through, no matter how much it hurts, no matter how bad it is, you are never ever alone. And you have to know that you are never alone. I fully understand how hard this life is. This life is like being on a rough sea, even worse, in the middle of the biggest storm in the middle of the ocean. It tosses you, it throws you about, and sometimes it can be downright scary. And I know what it's like when it seems like everything that can go wrong does go wrong. And sometimes you just can't ever seem to get out of the hole that you're in. And it seems to just go on and on and on for you, and like it has no end. And sometimes you even start longing for death. But yet you don't want death, but you long for it because you're tired of the suffering. And what I want to tell you is that you're not alone, that there is help. There is real help, the only help. You can't get help in medicine. You can't get help in spiritual gurus. You can't get help in all the wrong places. There's only one place to truly get help. And time is ticking. We're all getting older, and we're getting close to that final day when we're going to take our last breath. Maybe we'll see it coming. Maybe we won't see it coming, but it is going to happen. Now, not for everybody, because there are going to be some people alive when the final things take place, but most of us are going to have to pass on when we are going to be awakened, and we are going to have to face our judgment. We're all going to be judged, and I know this is not taught in the world right now because the religions and society and the system wants to teach you that there is no God and that you don't have to be judged. Well, the truth is there is a judge. There is a judge, and there is a God. There is a creator. There is a father, and it's not a game. And your life will get worse until you give it to him, if you really want to give it to him. Or you will continue to walk in the maze that you have been in all your life until he sets you free. Let me ask you a question before we even get started with this. If you really thought for a second that there was an almighty, all-knowing creator, and he was all-powerful, and he created everything that our poor little minds cannot comprehend, do you really believe that this Almighty Father would refuse you if you came to him? If you came to him, broken, battered, beaten, and said, I need you, please help me. I don't know who you are, but I want to know who you are. Help me. Do you believe that he would refuse you and tell you, no, I don't want anything to do with you? So many folks simply will not go to him. And in the world that we're living in now, we live in the greatest deception ever in history. Because of the tools, the evil of this world has the ability to deceive the masses like never before because of technology, because of the internet. Let me lay some facts here to you, and you don't have to consider them facts. I know they are facts, even if you don't. But I assure you, for the few people that I hope to reach who have never watched my work before, I hope that there will come a time in the future when you will look back and see that somebody working for Jesus Christ was trying to help you. You were not created by UFOs. You were not created by ancient aliens or ancient technology. See, those are demons. Those are demonic beings. And what you see here, the ancient ruins, everything that's here, your Father knows all about it. Nothing has ever escaped him. Nothing's ever happened on this earth that your Father said, oops, look what just happened. Now, if you're going to find the truth, and you're going to find the truth in the Almighty Creator, you're not going to find them in fantasy, and you're not going to find them in atheism. This is Richard Dawkins. You're not going to find any truth in Richard Dawkins, because he will tell you God could exist, but why would you want to believe? Because he probably doesn't exist. This is what this monster says. Because it's not in him to believe. Because our Father did not plant everything that's here. This is complicated, and this is when you get further along. But for you to not be deceived, you're going to have to know some basic truths. You're not going to find the Almighty Father and Jesus Christ in church, not in the modern church, because he's just not there. The modern churches right now are on what's called by what we call the Babylonian beast system, Mystery Babylon, and the harlots of Babylon. The modern churches are there to support the state of Israel, Freemasons, and the beast system. That's what they are there for. They're not there for you. They're not there for Jesus Christ. And all this is part of your Father's plan. You're not going to find the truth in hypocritical churchgoers who do not know the truth themselves. They gather in church for one reason, to support the devil. That's what they're there for. You're not going to find the truth on so-called Christian television, because it's not there. You're not going to find the truth about the Almighty Creator and his Son Jesus Christ through false teachers and false pastors in 501c3 churches. You're not going to find the truth in Joel Osteen. And let me tell you something else. The Almighty Creator does not need your money. He owns everything. He owns the bank, man. He don't need your money. So keep it. You're not going to find the truth. Listen to Kenneth Copeland, who said that the biggest failure in the Bible was God. You're not going to find the truth in the Pope, who said that Jesus Christ was a failure on the cross. You're not going to find the truth searching on Google for truth videos when 99.99% of them work for the beast system. What Google is there for is they are there to give a platform for the beast to confuse and to deceive and to store and spy on everything that you do, to store every bit of information about you and to spy on you. That's what they're there for. Just like the devices through your television, your cell phones, your tablets, they are there to spy on you, to keep track of everything that you do. It's about control. That's what they want to do. They want to control you. And I'm telling you, there is a way out. But there's only one way out. Don't be fooled. You can't get it through Prozac. You can't get it through spiritual gurus. You can only get it through one way. His name is Jesus Christ. That's the only way that you can get out. And if you don't believe it, that's fine. You don't have to believe it. There will come a day then you will weep because you did not take the opportunity. What this system does, it's about fear and propaganda. Let me show you something here. Police. UFOs spotted above Breckenridge. This is in Colorado. Now, notice the bottom. Ebola epidemic, ISIS beheading, and a fugitive search. All just like that. They've got you with the fear. They've got you hooked in with the propaganda and the deceit. They've got you hooked in. And that's what most of the internet is. It's in the so-called true channels. It's fear and propaganda channels. They want to keep you guessing with mindless information and keep you guessing with speculation, rumor, and innuendo about the end times this, the end times that, when none of them know nothing, because they don't work for Jesus Christ. They want you in a perpetual state of confusion and fear. And then you will get the propaganda and sometimes even the truth to mock our Father from the mainstream media. We can give $38 billion and hundreds of billions of dollars to the state of Israel, but we will not take care of you, me, and our own people. This is reality. This is reality, but there is a way out. This is the propaganda that you will see non-stop because there is a war against you and me. But we do have help if we will seek the help. The question is, will we seek the help? Will you take the hand if it's offered to you? If the Almighty Creator himself said, here's my hand, will you take it? And then you have the entertainment, whether it be Hollywood, which works non-stop. It's a 24/7 IV of filth and propaganda. And most of it is anti-white propaganda, even though other people are hurt by it, but they don't seem to recognize it. The music, which is seducing spirits at work, propaganda of filth and nasty, vile stuff that's meant to control your mind and use demonic symbols to captivate you because they want the world to follow after the beast. And then the folks will try to latch on to somebody besides Jesus Christ, like this monster here, Alex Jones, and think that somehow by following him they're following the truth, when all they're doing is actually following an agent of the devil. That's all. And the propaganda continues on and on and on. The propaganda goes on. And they will give you a few pieces of plastic to tell you to, here, spend this and you'll be a part of the club and it will make you feel good. You see, it's all one big game to them. And your Father allows it to happen. It's their theater. And your Father is allowing it to happen. You have a choice of whether you want to come to him with everything that you have. You have a choice. They don't want you to speak the truth. They want to keep you silenced, and they want you to be quiet and accept everything that they tell you as the truth. And if you don't, if you get out of line, they will send their trained robots to harass you and hound you. This is the truth. We live in a world where a man, a former president, actually got up and actually said that they have to promote racial interbreeding, and that they have to meet the challenge. And I want you to think about that. This is the challenge, and it's not a choice, it's an obligation. This is what the world has really become. You see, you don't have a choice. If you want to be with whoever you want to be with, that's not for me to tell you. But when the monsters, the devil's children, can tell you this is what we want you to do, you got to really ask what's going on. Nobody wants to talk about this out of control earth and how to break free from it, because the monsters that are in control of it, at least temporarily in control, they want you to be a part of it. And the way to make you be a part of it is to conform you to and get some pleasure from it, or to be so confused and so scared and so afraid that you cannot find your way to escape this maze. They do not want to tell you about the things that are in the skies, what we call chemtrails, that are always not even planes. You see, really evil things are going on. When you live in a world, brethren, where they will put fluoride and poisons in your water, your toothpaste, and tell you that it's good for your teeth, when it's been proven that it kills you, think about where we're at. When the food, the water, the air is poisoned, and they tell you that it's okay, because they want to damage your brain, because they do not want you to be able to think normally. They do not want you to speak out about the violence that is currently in our world. I mean, the violence, the rampant violence, especially across the United States and Europe. It's bad. They do not want you to speak out and tell the truth about the monsters that live among us. Monsters. Demonic beings that have taken flesh form. They do not want you to read the Bible. They do not want you to know the truth of what's in the Bible, even though you have it if you choose to read it. But more importantly, they do not want you to have a relationship with your Creator and with Jesus Christ. Folks, the pinnacle of this life is having a relationship with Jesus Christ. That's the pinnacle of this life. That's what we're here for, is to love and serve our Father with everything that's in us. That's what we are here for. That's what Jesus Christ told us. That's what we're here for. And if you will come to him, he will not refuse you. But if you don't come to him, you're going to be judged. And many folks say that to scare folks. I'm not trying to scare you, because there's nothing to be afraid of. What's going to be is going to be. That's a fact. It's going to be. But if you want to break free of the hell that you're living in, you have the choice. And his name is Jesus. You have a choice to take his hand and accept it and walk with him. I don't care who you are, what color you are, where you come from, what your credo is, makes no difference to me. I'm telling you the truth. Jesus Christ is the way, the truth, and the life, and nobody will make it to the Almighty Father through any other means but by Jesus Christ. And if you refuse and deny Jesus Christ, I assure you, you are going to answer for it. You can be bravado, you can be tough, you can be whatever you want. You ain't going to win no contest with the Almighty Father. You will lose, and lose badly. He will dribble you like a basketball, and there's nothing you can do about it. Nothing. But you have an option, and he will not refuse you if you come to him with a true heart. You don't have to know much. You don't have to be much, man. You just got to be honest. That's all you got to be, is honest. And he will put a few folks in your life that will help you. That's the truth. Now we're going to watch the back part of this video, and I hope you enjoy it. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you give some thought to what I've said. And if you already have a relationship with the Father, I hope this will help you to squeeze his hand even stronger, to squeeze the hand of Jesus even stronger, because that's all we need. And you're going to have to hold on tight and squeeze tight. But he won't let you go. But don't you let go. Let's watch the other part of this video. I give you I give you my word. Jesus Christ gives you his word. The Father gives you his word, which is, my word means nothing. But their word is everything. They will not refuse you if you come to them with a true heart. Just be honest and be yourself. Let's watch the rest of this video. May the Father bless each and every one of you in the name of Jesus Christ. I would like to talk about Jesus in the Old Testament. There's lots of verses about Jesus in the Old Testament, and there's actually an entire chapter devoted to Jesus. There's no more controversial figure ever in history than Jesus. Hated, loved, revered, denied. Jesus. I don't think most folks really understand how important Jesus is to even the folks that believe. And we're going to read something in the Old Testament about Jesus that most folks never read. I just want you to imagine for a moment, you, me, all of us. Imagine the most grimy, nasty, evil thoughts that you've had. Imagine things that you've done in your life that were wicked, evil, and cruel. Filthy, man, bad. Physically, mentally, spiritually, things that you've done to other people, lies, things that you've done. Even just with your mind, things that you've done. And we all have to fight sin every day. We have to fight temptation. We do get better as we get further in our walk, and as we grow, and as we come to love him more, we start to do better. We behave differently. But some of us, more than others, have been incredibly bad, and that's an understatement. Jesus Christ, in his love for those who love him, believe in him, and follow him, truly follow him, not just with your mouth, because even the devils believe. It's more than just believing. You got to follow him. You have to obey. He took all that away. He took it away because without him, man, we don't go back to the Father. That's what he meant when he said, I am the way, the truth, and the life, and no man, nobody, I don't care who you are, where you come from, what your color, it doesn't matter. If it's not, you don't get back to the Father except through Jesus. That's it. There is no other way. There is no shortcuts. That's it. There's only one way, Jesus. Jesus Christ was, while he was on this earth, they tried to kill him when he was a baby. They've been hating him from the very beginning. Jesus Christ said that he was created before the foundation of the world. He had joy, he had honor with his Father. Now, people, we can argue about who is Jesus. Doesn't really matter. All these mysteries will be revealed to us one day. We don't need to argue about Scripture. We don't need to argue about prophecy. In fact, we need to come together more than ever. What's important is that we love one another. And most importantly is that we love Jesus and we do right by Jesus. Because time is ticking. On the grand clock and on our clocks. When we have to take our last breath. And we're going to stand before Jesus and we are going to be judged. The book's going to be open. Have you given it all to him? I mean all of it. Have you given it all to him? Or have you halfway walked it? That's just not acceptable. I want to read something to you. In Isaiah chapter 53. So we're going to go to the Old Testament and I want us to read, if we shall. Isaiah chapter 53, 1 through 12. Who hath believed our report, and to whom is the arm of the Lord revealed? For he shall grow up before him as a tender plant, and as a root out of a dry ground. He hath no form nor comeliness, and when we shall see him, there is no beauty that we should desire him. Because many people have this belief that Jesus was 6'1", 220 pounds with long, beautiful, flowing blonde hair, and everybody just swooned over him. This is not true. He was your everyday, regular guy, just like all of us. Your Father did not send his Son here so he will be looked at like he was a model. He probably had strong arms and strong legs from walking and working with his dad as a carpenter. His hair was probably a little bit long because of the Galileans where he grew up and where he lived. They were called the wild men. Now this may not have applied to Jesus, and I know there are some records in the Roman reports that give record of what he looked like. What we do know is this, is that he was a Caucasian. Does it matter? It doesn't matter to me. It used to matter. It does not matter now. It just doesn't. It means nothing to me. What matters is that I follow him and that I love him. He was just a regular guy. Just a regular guy. 3, he is despised and rejected of men, a man of sorrows, and acquainted with grief, and we hid, as it were, our faces from him. From him he was despised, and we esteemed him not. He was lowly, like us. The world didn't look at him as Jesus. Remember that they followed him for a while, but then when it got bad, everybody ran away. When it came time to really get down to it, when it came time to die, everybody left him but a couple guys and some sisters. Everybody left him. Think about it. Number 4, surely he hath borne our griefs and carried our sorrows, yet we did esteem him stricken, smitten of God, and afflicted. 5, but he was wounded for our transgressions. He was bruised for our iniquities, our sins. The chastisement of our peace was upon him, and with his stripes we are healed. Because they beat him profusely. You can only imagine that they beat him so much. The skin opened up, and it's by his stripes that we are healed. All we like sheep have gone astray. We have turned every one to his own way, and the Lord hath laid on him the iniquity of us all. He was oppressed and he was afflicted, yet he opened not his mouth. He is brought as a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep before her shearers is dumb, so he openeth not his mouth. He was taken from prison and from judgment, and who shall declare his generation? For he was cut off out of the land of the living. For the transgression of my people was he stricken. And he made his grave with the wicked, and with the rich in his death, because he had done no violence, neither was any deceit in his mouth. Yet it pleased the Lord to bruise him. He hath put him to grief. When thou shalt make his soul an offering for sin, he shall see his seed. He shall prolong his days, and the pleasure of the Lord shall prosper in his hand. He shall see the travail of his soul, and shall be satisfied. By his knowledge shall my righteous servant justify many, for he shall bear their iniquities. Yours, mine. Therefore I will divide him a portion with the great, and he shall divide the spoil with the strong, because he hath poured out his soul unto death, and he was numbered with the transgressors. And he bare the sin of many, and made intercession for the transgressors for us. Because if it ain't Jesus, it just ain't right. You don't get anywhere without Jesus. You may get a little bit in this life, and people walk their whole lives without Jesus Christ. They gain a little bit, they have pleasure, they get a little bit of money, and they really think they have something. Man, this life is here today, gone tomorrow, and then you really find out what you really have. When you stand before him and you are judged, then you find out, what do you really have now? Jesus Christ came into the world. They tried to murder him as a child. He was born in a manger, born in a barn. This is the King of Kings. The Son of God was born in a manger. Did not have money, did not have a big house, was not rich, was not famous. He was lowly. When he started his ministry, the devil's children tried to kill him all throughout the scriptures. He was kidnapped, given a trial in the wee hours of the morning, kept up for almost 2 days. Mocked, beaten, laughed at, spit on, and everybody that he knew left him. He could not carry the cross that he was to be crucified on, because he had been beat so much. And when they put him up on the cross for you and I, when they put him up on the tree for you and I, he did not die from being crucified. He died from suffocation, because he could not breathe. This is what they did to your king and my king, and he did it for us. And yet many people that he died for love the ones that killed him more than they love him. Think about this. If you go into Christian churches all throughout Western culture, they love the ones who killed him, the ones who mock and hate him today, more than they love Jesus. And it's not even close, man. And if you criticize those, they will say that we are the ones that are in the wrong, but let them say it. Because it does not make a damn what they say. It only matters what Jesus Christ says. That's the final word. That's the final authority, is Jesus. Not the pastor, not society, not Google, not YouTube. The Almighty Father says, Jesus, it's yours. You are judge. You are jury. Everything is yours. You have been given all power in heaven and in earth. It's yours. My son, it's yours. Those that I give you, those are your inheritance. Even as he was on the tree dying, they mocked him. They spit at him. They laughed at him, told him, come on down, save yourself. And even the Roman soldiers got scared and said, wait a minute, something's wrong. They cried out. These Babylonians did. They cried out, let his blood be upon us and our children. I say to you, don't worry, because it is. And I think for many others, his blood is up on them too, those that side with him. You don't have to hate anybody, because Jesus told us to even love our enemies. But you sure as heck cannot side with them. You see, you just can't do that. You can follow Jesus, but understand that when you follow Jesus, you cannot side with the enemy. You may love them, you may pray for them, but you cannot side with them because they are anti-Jesus Christ. We've already talked about Antichrist, and they're everywhere. But there are certain segments that are far worse than others. So as he is murdered for us, crucified, people don't like to use the word murder. It's not over. It's not over. Because they want to kidnap the body now. See, because many of these devils knew who he was. Remember, when Jesus was on this earth, when he was casting out evil spirits, the evil spirits talked to him and told him, we know who thou art, the Son of God. They knew who he was. They knew prophecy. They knew the truth. Well, the ones in flesh also knew the truth, that he was the Son of God. They knew that he was the Messiah. He was the chosen one. They tried to steal his body. They tried to pay soldiers to say that he wasn't resurrected. They did everything they could. And then after that, even when Jesus Christ is resurrected, he and his disciples had to go meet in secret for fear of the same ones that killed him. Now, if Jesus Christ wanted to, brethren, he could have came up off the cross that day, off the tree, and slew every son of a gun there and said, not today. Don't feel like dying today. I'm gonna have everybody's rear end here that is against me. I'll come back and do it another time. He did it for us, for you and me. This is Jesus. You're breathing right now because Jesus has allowed you to breathe. You're existing right now because he's given you the opportunity to exist. He is the one that will look at you when you come out of your sleep, death. You will see him, and you will be judged. And it's he that will give you eternal life with him. It's he that will let you be a part of his and his family. Because he is your everything. He should be your morning, your noon, your evening, night. He should be your every breath is Jesus. His breath is our breath. May the Father bless each and every one of you in the name of his only begotten, the way, the truth, and the life, and the only thing that matters. The only thing that matters, man, in this life is Jesus. That's it. You can love your loved ones, you can love your enemy, you can love others, but when it comes down to it, it's all about Jesus. May the Father bless you all.